they should have sensitized the country on the new law that is coming, on the new things, the new clauses, the new laws that they added into the cybersecurity bill, which was already in force. They would have sensitized the nation to say this new law will be signed on this day, and given the nation a notice to say we are going to sign a new law on this day, and the changes of this new law are A, B, C, D, and here is what you need to do to be safe on the internet. But this government did not do any of that. It's kind of like they ambushed us. They ambushed us. They published the law. The law was signed. The bill was signed into law. And had it not been for the U.S. Embassy to warn its citizens, all of us would have not known that the new law was in force. And this is the problem that we are having. So I am here to talk about that. I'm going to be a resource to a lot of people because like I said, I'm a certified human rights consultant, and I've lived in a country where these cyber laws originated from. My home is close to the Silicon Valley, near the headquarters of these companies, Google, whatever, Apple. They are 2 minutes away drive. I mean, not 2 minutes, 2 hours. So Apple, Google, what is this? This Microsoft, they are in Seattle, an hour or two flight from here. So I have lived here. I have lived in a country that enforces cyber laws for 25 years. I have lived here, and I have worked in human resources. I have worked in corporate America for over 20 years, and I have handled people's personal information, confidential information, medical records, financial records, you name it. I have worked with all kinds of confidential records. But the thing is, before you start working with such information, you need a training. And all of us here in the States, we are trained, We are trained. People are aware. They teach you about online safety. Everyone gets that training. So people know how to conduct themselves. The problem that we are having is the UPND government, they implemented this law without telling us that it was implemented, without conducting sensitization meetings. So that is really unfortunate, and it's more like ambushing the citizens, It's more like ambushing the citizens, and, it's just disappointing, really. It's just disappointing that they can do that to the people. So that being said, we'll talk about online safety today. And let me just find my article which I published. It's very easy, guys. So even each one of us now, is our duty to be safe online. How are we going to be safe online and avoid being prosecuted? What are the pros and cons of this new law? So the cons is that, the advantages is that this new law, for example, actually, before I even talk about this new law, there is a video which is circulating online, which the president himself was against. He was against PF signing the new law, and I'm going to play the short clip so that you hear what President Hakainde said when he was in opposition about this cyber bill. So let me just play that video before I proceed. So
mouthpiece that Zambians have is the social media. You want to shut it down. Stop it, please. We have known for a long time that you are dictators. You are autocrats. But you have now crossed the line. Leave. Do away with this cyber security thing. There are enough laws to deal with criminals. Just enforce those laws. Fair. This cannot be used as an excuse. Leave citizens to talk vision. Don't cut them. Leave it. Please leave it. You want to find.
So let's play this again. The tape. This is the president when he was in opposition, when he was against UPF for signing the cyber bill. And the important thing that we must all be doing from now on is we state that we always have to make a disclaimer when we go online to say, I am here online to practice my constitutional fundamental right of freedom of expression. Whatever I say is not meant to offend anyone or to incite anyone. So before you say anything or before you play anything, always put a disclaimer that, you are exercising your freedom of speech and you are not there to incite anyone or to offend anyone. You are just exercising your right to talk freely as mandated in our constitution. So all these guys, I know, or if you have a smartphone, everyone has an AI. So you can just type into your ChatGPT AI, ask AI how to write a simple disclaimer. So we are not going to shut down, but we are going to know how to conduct ourselves on social media. So I am playing a clip of the president when he was in opposition, and this is in social media already circulating. And whatever the president says is, or any politician is actually a public figure. If they say anything, that is not a private matter. For example, myself, to some degree, I'm a politician, I'm an advocate, so whatever I say, it can be circulated because it's already on social media. I remember today, I think you have seen, there's a guy, I'm just giving, this is an example of what it means, because we have to educate ourselves. Because if you're not, if you don't know, then you'll be scared to talk. You won't be free to say anything. You think everything you say, you are going to be prosecuted. So I'll give an example today. What happened is, I think he's one of the Zambian is an actor. So I think they're having a baby. So they posted pictures. They went for a photo shoot, and they had this big poster to say round 7. So I made a comment to say how irresponsible, so meaning they are going to have 7 kids. So that was my comment. But then people were attacking me. It's none of your business. Why are you saying this? So I said, well, he brought this on social media. So if you bring something in the public domain, it means we can comment. The problem is going to bring secret conversations into public. Then they will get you. But if someone has posted something on social media, we are free to comment. It's social media. That's where we socialize. That is the whole essence of social media, is to socialize. So anything in the public domain, you can comment. The problem, you will have a problem if you are sitting in a private meeting and you record someone and you circulate, then you have a problem. So let us hear what the president had to say when he was in opposition about this cyber bill. And I'm not committing any crime because this is already in the public domain. So just hold on, let me play it.
Madam, Mami Bumi, can I ask a question just on that?
Okay. Go ahead.
So, if there's information that's already in the public domain, are we allowed as citizens to?
Yes, it's
comment on
public
it or
information.
speculate
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So information that is already in the public domain is not a problem. But you have to follow the guidelines, like don't insult, don't be disrespectful, takuli ifishobo. So, like I was talking about being politically correct, and that's what, like here in America, that's how we are, like politically correct. The problem is people like insulting and disrespecting. For example, in this life, people insult me, PF, that is a problem. So if someone comes and tells me, PF, I'll just take a screenshot and report that person for humiliating and insulting me. If I'm a prostitute, can you prove that I'm a prostitute? Because a prostitute is demeaning. Mamona is an insult.
Yes.
So this is what they want to do. That's why, like, if you go follow social media, like in the US, they don't insult each other. Because the minute they insult each other, the person will just take a screenshot and call the police, and then you'll be charged. So that is the...
What about verbally? Like, for example, the way you're talking now, and then we go and discuss me and another person to say, stuff like that, but...
But if it's private, like if you and someone are discussing that, oh, uliadi ule, and then, first of all, again, there's another law which has said you can't record people without consent. So, like, for example, I'm here on social media space. This is a public space. So anyone can record me because I'm on a public space. Mamona. Whatever I'm saying here is public. Anyone can record, can share, can do whatever. But if I'm in a private meeting and then you record me without my consent, that is a criminal. So if you are in a meeting or if you are just chatting with your friend, can you say, you have to get consent to say, can I record this conversation and have that in have that agreement captured? Either they can sign or verbally agree to say, yes, you can record this. Then you are okay. But you can't record people in a private meeting secretly and then circulate. That is a problem.
Okay, but if they're saying bad things in public, that
is a crime. Chimono kweba chi umuntu akutukana pa musebo asa kutukana pa cyber space 30%. Insele. So, which is a good thing because some of us have been insulted to the moon and back by you.
So can you record now on the public space? Can you record the insult like in public, and then you record them and go with that evidence? You are not making it.
Yes, because that is self-defense. That is self-defense to say, I was attacked by this person and then I recorded them. Here is the evidence. But if you are in a private meeting, kunchito, olomunganda, or if it's your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, you can't record people publicly. I'll give an example of myself. I think you all know what happened to me. Last year, you know that I am the founder and leader of New Era Democratic Party. And I am not in Zambia. So there is a person whom I know. She's actually like, her sister was my friend. So I asked her to be my representative there. And she was the, what position was she? She was a vice president or something. I gave her a role to represent me in a new era because I am not there physically. So when we just launched the New Era Democratic Party, a few days, a few months, I think we launched the New Era. I think 1 year is coming up in 2 weeks. So we launched New Era on 3rd May. And then a few weeks later, they wanted to be going around instead of building the party structure. So it was a conversation. I had a private conversation with her, and you know the rest of the story. She leaked that audio.
Yes.
Yes, so that is a criminal case. That actually was actually in la force before. It is part of the existing laws. You can't record someone a private conversation and circulate. So that woman, I still have to come and deal with her when I come to Zambia, because one, she circulated that video, and we all know that what was in that video. I don't want to go through there, but boy, I was insulted. The whole PF came and insulted me. I was humiliated. Bad things happened to me because of that video that woman circulated, I swear. But this is, and you know, a lot of, I was cyber bullied in short, because that
Yes.
video, I talked about the former president. I had called him and I apologized. I made a public video, but that didn't have to happen if she respected the cyber law, because what she did was a criminal. So that crime is something hanging over her head, and I'll come and deal with it when I come to Zambia. But because of such things, a lot of people, they are cyber bullied and they even commit suicide. Like here in America, there are a lot of people, they commit suicide because of cyber bullied, because somebody leaked something private and put it on social media, and then the whole world starts bullying them. That is what happened to me. I am a good example. Because my vice president of New Era Democratic Party, we had a personal problem. She decided to leak a private conversation on social media, and I was cyber bullied. And if I was not strong, I was going to break down mentally. A lot of people, they break down mentally when they are bullied online. We have seen in Zambia, people like Mwizukanji, they have gone through cyberbullying online. We have seen people like Wezi, I think Wezi Muhoni, the musician too, they are cyberbullied online. People, Kidist, your Maps' wife, is another victim of cyberbullying. So cyberbullying is a big problem. It's a big problem in Zambia. So I think this law, somehow it is an advantage, especially to women. Women are really cyberbullied in Zambia. Women are cyberbullied. So this law will help women. It is really going to help women. Yeah. So I think let me move on. So I wanted to play an audio of what the president said about the cyber bill when he was in opposition. I'll just play this just now. But TikTok, can you tap the screen if you can?
David, please, David, you want to find a Bible then after 4th of August. Let me remind Zambians that whatever you are going through, mouthpiece that Zambians have is the social media. You want to shut it down. Stop it, please. We have known for a long time that you are dictators. You are autocrats, but you have now crossed the line. Leave, do away with this cyber security thing. There are enough laws to deal with criminals. Just enforce those laws fairly. This cannot be used as an excuse. Leave citizens to talk to each other. Don't gut them. David, Please, we want to find a viable menu after 4th of August.
Okay, so this is the president in opposition. Where he was saying that there are already enough social cybercrime laws in place. So he was against it, but fast forward to 2021, the president, the same law he was against, he has signed, made amendments and enforced the changes. So this is where now the U.S. Embassy came in to warn American citizens, because some of the laws, some of the laws were, some of the new laws, they are intrusive. If you balelanda tibakala chita record abantu, ma private conversations. You know, the government has been is now mandated to record private conversation, which is very tricky, because kuti mulelanda fye, if you're mulelanda, people will be targeted. Like if you are opposition, over patanga kudi landa sana, kuti bakuchita target, bakuchita report, ba send up phone yobe. No kukuchita accuse ukwebati ulelanda hate speech or ulelanda imilandu ishapusana because pama phone tulalande fingi. We talk a lot of things pama phone. So the fact that the government nomba bakala kutika kufia abantu balelanda mchalo, it could mean abantu abengi kuti baba problems kuti mule shimika fefyo mule shimika by government ingaile umfefyo tulelanda filiafintu, a lot of people will be targeted, especially by opposition, especially looking ukwebati awa banani ba UPND ba kwata selective application of the law bakaka favor opposition. So now this is going to make it worse. That is the disadvantage. It will make it worse for the new laws, because now they will be targeting bakalashita targeti ama enemies babo nokuba fwaire mirandu, because even the law itself is not cut, it's not clear cut, balelanda that critical information. So any kuti babule mulandu bakupangira omulandu because it's not clear cut. You know, why is the law not clear cut to say if you say A, B, C, D, then you are violating this law? But now they are just saying critical information. So this is where you have to be really careful, and this is where we have seen a law. Binu Mpundu has started a petition to collect 1 million signatures, and I guess the whole country, they have rejected this law, and we are calling for the government to repeal some of the things that are going to put a lot of people into problems. So we shall continue advocating and asking for the government to repeal this law, because some of the things Act 2025, they are very intrusive. Imagine Pachiba US Embassy bambio kweba abantu babo ukwebati to be careful. But US Embassy balechita warning abantu babo. But Kelvin, good to see you. I'm fine, thank you. But Kopa la Mulishan. So the US Embassy is coming to warn abantu babo to be careful about the intrusiveness of this law. So it is a serious thing. Chili serious sana. But on the other side, there are advantages, like where women are being bullied. You know, I have given an example of myself, how my audio was leaked, and I was insulted like no man's business, you know. But I thank God I had good women surrounded me and prayed with me and counseled me. That's how I was able to get out of that time in my life when I was cyberbullied because somebody I trust and know leaked an audio onto the cyberspace. So that is really good. That is really good. But that does not mean you cannot record people. You can record people, but just ask them, can I record this? If they say yes, go ahead. And then if you are in a fight or flight mode, if you're under attack, record the conversation, record what is happening. If you are witnessing a crime, you don't need permission to record. Because you need evidence. Maybe somebody's going to be killed if you don't do something. We had this question last time where somebody was saying, so if I see umuntu nga balemu ipayolo balemuma, I can't record. No, you have to record. If a crime is happening, you have to record. Echo balekanya nifefe anchitikire ine. I'm a good example. Maybe God Lesakumulu knew why that happened to me, so I can give a testimony. You all know that woman who leaked my audio, and I was cyberbullied. Bali ntuka no kutukana na batata, ba PF. Bali ntuka ndemye I was cyberbullied. Hello, that's why people even commit suicide. Ugutina no kulafe pa Facebook abalenji shira bambini muma inbox. Message oku ntuka nafi oku pa fe audio yandiria. People insulted me. And you can go into depression. Bambina suicide they commit, and a lot of people, they commit suicide because of cyberbullying. So that law will stop that. Actually, that law has been in force. Even apawa HHF babikirepo. Babikirepo fiotuma laws pamulu, like you are intrusive, sharing information, critical information, and other things which are there. And also extending the times of the jail time and the penalties. But these laws have already been there, like you said. So apanomba tukala diringa na bena. Tukadiringa na bena. Abalechita leak ama private audio milandu. Actually milandu shibiri. If you leak a private audio, it's two cases. One case is leaking the audio, and then the other case media harassment and humiliation. So they have like two cases to answer. If you leak a audio, take question. Ngawa leaking a audio ya muntu mirandu shibiri. The first crime is you leak a audio. Then the second crime media ya humiliation and harassment. But let me not.
I have a question on the audio.
Uh-huh.
So if you're linking the audio, is it when the person reports that you have leaked the audio is when you can be answerable for it? Not that the government will just start going in our phones to see if you leak the audios.
So upper number is a true thing. Good question. Like for me, I'm not a government official. So the lady who leaked my audio, maybe the government will not act because I am not a government official. I have to go and report her. Wamona. So for my case, because I'm just a private citizen, the government is not monitoring conversations. It is a crime, yes, but the government is not monitoring conversations between private people. So, Filia, in my case, where that woman leaked my audio, the fact that I'm not in Zambia, that's why I haven't reported her. But when I come to Zambia, I'll go and report her. But if, for example, I'm a minister and you do that, the government will come after you. They won't even wait for the minister, because a minister is a representative of the government of Zambia.
Yeah.
So if so if you are sitting in a meeting, you are having a private conversation with a minister or government official, the law will follow you, because that government official is working in capacity as representing the government of Zambia. So if you leak an audio for a government official, the law will visit you. The minister doesn't even have to report you. they'll just see that audio circulating and they'll start investigating who leaked this audio. And if they can track that you are the one who leaked the audio, they will come after you.
Okay.
So that's how it's gonna work. So if I was a minister, the government would have been like, who leaked this audio? They will start investigating. What happened? Who said what? Where? And then they'll go after that person who leaked the audio without me reporting, because I'm a government official. But because I'm a private citizen, I have to report that woman so that, you know, she will face government charges, and also she will face charges for me. I can demand compensation for the humiliation, embarrassment, and everything she caused me. That's how it works.
Okay, so if you're gonna leak this video, for example, linking a video. Also, the ones that have shared, the admins of the group, and even all those that have shared are also going in together.
Yes, because that is part of the law for sharing something of critical information. Because that video was private.
Okay.
Yeah. So that video, that audio of mine which leaked, they will try first. They will go after the source. Who leaked that audio?
Yes.
They will go after the source. So once they catch the source, and then now they'll go after people who are sharing. Today, it's actually in the newspaper. There is somebody who's in court for sharing a screenshot from I don't know what page they got it from, but they are in court today for sharing that screenshot, which was fake news.
Oh, well. Okay, thank you for clearing that up.
Now it comes.
Because
Now it comes.
at least I'm following, as we are following, they're just one of those questions that people chip in, and that's what I'm trying to address.
Exactly, and it's good because you know, I'm talking. It's good if you think of something as I'm talking, just ask me, so I'll clarify. You know. So yeah, so we were. If you're just joining in, we are just talking about this cyber law, and one of my guests on TikTok. I'm live on both Facebook and TikTok. One of my guests on TikTok had a question. Yeah. So we are talking, and the next thing that I want to talk about, what we have covered so far, we have covered the advantages. We have covered the advantages of this new law. And one of the main advantages is like people will stop people will stop circulating malicious audios. You know, I'm a victim of that, you all know. So, you know, the person who circulated my audio, I'll deal with her when I come to Zambia. And all the people who posted it, I'll deal with them. But usually they can, if they don't want to be implicated, like on my audio, like the people who circulated my audio, if they don't want to be implicated, they can just take it down. So by the time I go to report this case, if some of the people still have my audio on their platform or on their pages, then they will be prosecuted together with the woman who leaked the audio. So that's how it's gonna work. So it's serious. So no more. You know, if something is illegal, check with the source. If you just, you know, upper number, you just have to think. Takuri, you don't just post anything without thinking. Immediately you see something, you ask, is this in public domain? For example, I'll give myself, again, it happened to me for a reason. It happened to me for a reason. So I am the guinea pig. So my audio was leaked. Bali leaking our audio yandi. So whomever leaked that audio, if or whoever listened to that audio, when my audio leaked, so anyone who listened to the audio should have been, how can Queen Pumi say this? If they know me, then they should call me to say, Pumulo, we have heard the audio. What happened? And that is what happened. A lot of people who know me, and heard that audio, they called me right away to say, Pumulo, we have heard the audio and the ish. What happened? And then I explained to say, actually, that is a private audio. The person who's circulating that audio is circulating it to damage my reputation. Mamona, that's how it should be. So from now going forward, inga wamfafeka audio, tekwambo kukatuma muma group. If you see a video or audio, do your homework. Queen Pumi fisha lelanda audio hao nkamutumine. Queen Pumi, what is this nde ulelanda audio? Can you explain what is that? So you know. And a lot of people who are close to me, they called me. But a lot of people who are close to me, also they capitalize on that audio. No, kwamba just circulate to damage my reputation. Mamona. So this is where people now will start getting in trouble. This is where people will start getting in trouble. So if you receive an audio or you hear something, do your due diligence. Because ukesapira mo, ulio uchitire publish audio ilia, na kwata agenda yako na ulo mundu. So na iwa winenga wata circulate, na iwa winenishi, you are supporting that agenda yako na ulo mundu. By supporting by circulating a audio yabufi. Elo in law takwa about your ignorance is a defense. The ignorance is not defense. Tetulanda at yon shai shibe at audio idiabali shai shibe at idia audio idiabali kingire. Yadi private conversation shai shibe. That won't fly. Na iwa wine mukapira kumona ulia wine uliama yowa likingile audio yandi. Na iwa wine you'll be charged. Anyone who circulated that my audio will be charged because it was a private conversation. So I'm just appealing for her. She can't get off the hook because she circulated it. But the rest of you who circulated that video, if it's in your WhatsApp group, delete it. If it's on Facebook, delete it. Because when the police start investigating and they find it that you shared it, now you'll be charged for circulating a private conversation. So that's how it's going to work. Now, I just wanted to talk about how to be safe. 5 tips how to be safe. I'll make a short video and circulate it. So 5 tips to be safe on social media. Speak facts and not fake news. For example, kuri fifile chikapali batonse, I can't comment because in Shinshibe, ingafia bufi, ingafia chini. We have all seen what is happening right now. There is this story happening about Tonse. And apparently, some people, they are not learning. They are not learning okwebachi, kuriyama funde yanyu. And they are going to go down. Mamona. There is a story circulating about Tonse. Some names are mentioned. I'm not going to mention those names. And that's another way to be safe on the cyberspace. Don't mention any names if you are not sure. Takuri kurumbula. because nga walumbula fyeshi na ulio walumbula akesa kuchanani. You be liable to prove that filefyo ulandile fya chini. And then this is a good example of the case of Munia, Honorable Munia, and the two government officials. So had he not mentioned the names of the two government officials, he would be safe. He would have just said, when ningufuati kuri ama officials vamo kuri si story ni ine. Munia would have been safe. But they got him because he mentioned the names. Coming to talk about this Munia case too, people are saying, for me, I just feel that the case against Munia is actually, he shouldn't be prosecuted because he is a member of parliament. And the members of parliament, they are elected to talk for people. And people are saying Munia was prosecuted because he was not in parliament when he made those accusations against those officials. So, I say the members of parliament should be protected, like their location, like they, what couldn't I can say that a member of parliament, to speak about whatever he wants, wherever he is, not necessarily just because she should be at Manda Hill or in parliament for him to receive immunity. I'll give an example. If you look at the president is a president for 5 years, for a whole term. And whatever the president says, whether he's out of the country, whether he's on tour, he's the president, he receives immunity. Tatulanda yo pantu ba president, bali ku rally, tabali ku state house, elo balandire fi so to ala ba prosecute. The president has got immunity through the entire tenure of his office. So then why is it different for members of parliament? Why is it that a member of parliament only has immunity when he is in the floor? A member of parliament should enjoy the same immunity that the president enjoys for the 5th term. So I think this is a loophole which we really need to look into, to say a member of parliament can only speak when he's on the floor of the house. If he says it anywhere, in this case I'm told he said it's social media, that's where they got him. No, the president says a lot of things on social media, but he has immunity of the office. So, I am talking again, members of parliament too should enjoy the immunity of the office regardless of their location. Whether they are in their constituency, where they're in the social media, they should have protection. So this is what I have to say about that. So speak facts and not fake news. Be respectful even when you disagree. A good example is how I am insulted. When people, if I say something, you know I am in opposition. I'm an advocate. And people always insult me. Hey, where chidi ure? Ah, so why am I a prostitute? So they will get you. But right now, the law is selective. We know that people like Why Me and many other people, they have been prosecuted because they are in opposition. What about Chiwokolo? What about Fimbo Poke o Tukana Lyonse Mulenya Mulerapira? Nishtabamu Kakira. So for me, well and good, let them implement the law. but we want them to implement this law fairly. Nabale tutukana ife tuli maure nabe nabakaki. It is not fair to be signing laws so that the police can follow the opposition. No. So let's be respectful. But for me, even if you are UPND and you insult me, let me show you. I have my diarrhea. So on sewan tukana fiende emotion and demule mu 2026 we shall deal with you.
Mommy, pull me. There's a cyber crime, but your mouth is bending.
So what? Ngana dire mana if my mouth is bending.
Cyber crime.
That is a crime right here. This is a good. It's a good lesson. It's a good lesson. So you are bullying me. You win. Show yourself. Use an efima number. If you are really.
Followers. Let's not consider.
At my mouth is now we are kabendi as long as you can hear what I'm saying. So all this is a part of cyberbullying where these people they hide themselves in fake names.
Just block him. But to stay confused. So yeah, Mami Bumi, I wanted to add up on respectfulness. You know, in the political field, guys, the way people do things, each career has its own, each faculty has its own rules, right? So in politics, it also has its own rules. One, you have to be civilized on how you come out. You have to be diplomatic. Like the way we are mentioning, you need evidence, you need proof, you need facts. Being respectful is also one of the major, points. In politics, we can disagree to agree. It's like people who support Chelsea and Manchester. We can, when the game is there, we'll be debating, but when once the game is done, we should be able to toss a drink and, be able to communicate the way we are as friends. But now when you take things too personal, somewhere here in Lusaka when one was killed by one of the Muslims because of taking football too personal. It's the same as politics. Don't take it personal. Why am I a family that's no, because I'm a politician. You have to be respectful. I'll give an example of the best person I can give an example of is His Excellency himself. You see, besides him being a person that we're not agreeing with right now, like for me personally, I'm not agreeing. But, you have to respect him because one is a leader, he's a family man, he's a father. At the end of the day, he can make mistakes on how he comes out, but what we're going to do in our reaction is what's going to cause the peace or alarm the situation. So when you insult him, give him nicknames and do all that, yes, to protect yourself, you might just say, okay, or something like that. But when you start insulting him, labeling him, and giving him names, those are the things that the madam is saying, to say you find yourself locked up. You say so many things near social media, but when you go in there, you'll be alone. Because no one is going to come stand for you or bring you food or come and support you because of being ignorant. We are here educating each other about being respectful. Then tomorrow we see in a video insulting. How do you expect us as fellow youths or as politicians to come and support you? When we are here teaching you, video. So certain things, don't just follow a crowding or a group of people because no, and stuff like
Actually,
that.
just on that.
Yes.
Another thing is, if somebody is insulting, you will be also considered as an accomplice.
Yes.
So a warning. This is just a warning to all of you.
There's something. Sorry, under law there's something called, is it conspiracy?
Yes, accomplice, yes.
Yes. So it's like you people are conspiring.
It's like pamada sin, balei pa yomuntu, wasangwa poko baleipa y'omuntu.
Yes.
You are not condemning that action. Uli muntu afwa mwafuma mwaya. Umuntu mwa ashala afwa. Mwamona.
So this is why I've noticed, I've now come to understand why the flying squad just come and clear. You see, a thief is being associated with so many people and so many things. This is why when the flying squad come, they just come and clear because they want not to say if you're an accomplice or not, but because of Ukusangwa, Pariana Uriakabona, you considered as a person who has conspired.
Yeah, you have to be careful. You really have to be careful. Like now, going like ififine ngandi panonde tukana wonsi abali apa olo if ngani video bala muma records kutamba na ulia uno wachira ntukana ulia ngana chira tukana na yena kumusendera kumu.
So sometimes, guys, right now, if I'm rooting what Mami Pumi is doing, she starts insulting, I'm there rooting her. I'm going to be considered as one of the people on the panel who are
you are an accomplice.
Yes.
You are an accomplice.
I feel that as people, because of lack of, a better term to say, lack of exposure or, literacy, we find ourselves in situations where we are wanting.
And that's why we are blaming the government for not sensitizing the people before they implemented this law. They should have, maybe in January, ngelo bambire, ukusambirisha abantu mwebantu, kuleisa mafunde yanyu, and explain people how to behave. Otherwise, some people will be caught unawares.
Yes, and growing up, if you remember, our parents would tell us, I don't want you to play with that child. Not because they even know that child, or maybe it's because of what they are hearing from what is going on, the rumors they hear about that child. It's the same with Umonture Tukana. Inengande Tukana para social media. Hey, what. If Mama Mipumi starts moving with me, whether she's good or bad, people will say she's
bad. Bad company corrupts good morals.
Good morals.
Yeah, so
we can be right in what we are saying, but how we are saying it and why we are saying it.
No, you will go down.
Should be there, facts, and also the same issues that are in public domain, like this one, they can't win, stuff like that. This thing that is on the newspaper here, it's in public domain. So if we debate on it, we are not in the room. But where we come up with a topic for we're going to bring it here, and a person is being mentioned and being judged, it's gonna bring issues. So this is why we, at least such topics when they come here, you need to be clear and participate. Not filmless and crowd that's because this is where you're supposed to be so that you get the knowledge. Because at the end of the day, trust me, when we're outside here, it looks all fun and games. But when you go inside there and you're alone, there's no one who's going to stand for you. And trust me, even the lawyers that are there, the ones that they give, like on this issue, these prosecutors, they tell you on this one, you are just very much against the law, and the law is just going to be there to escort you because they can't even debate with you. These are things that you are supposed to know. So I'd advise you guys to like the video, to share and follow so that we spread the word more. Because I think this is very educative and something that can help us, especially for my youth. But, sometimes don't just follow the crowd. Be educated. Know what you are doing. I think this is the best advice I can also give on that point.
Excellent, excellent. So we are talking about how to behave on social media. Actually, so this thing, I was actually thinking to say, even the president himself, sometimes he uses vulgar language. So what will happen if the president uses vulgar language moving forward? What will happen? Because the president uses vulgar language. I'm not offending anyone. I'm just saying what it is. Some of the languages the president uses is vulgar language. So what will happen to him?
And sorry to say, I'm speaking this also, I'm cutting it, and I'm just expressing my rights, my freedom of speech. There are videos also in public domain of him expressing himself in a negative. So even us as citizens, this is where now we get the same law and asked to say, but Your Excellency, you had mentioned to say, in this cyber law, we need to follow it, and we're not supposed to express.
Not to not mention, he's the one who signed the law.
Yes.
He's the one who
So,
signed the laws, but the president,
you are expressing yourself
there are
in
many
negative
videos.
ways.
Yes.
I believe also as citizens, we have rights to pin down because he is not above.
No, he has immunity.